What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. Now, for today's video, we're going to be diving into X-Men's Children of the Atom, issue number 1. Now, many people are familiar with the original Children of the Atom, but this is the new revised 2021 version where we're introduced to 5 new characters. Now, this is written by Vita Ayala, art is by Bernard Chang, and cover is by R.B. Silva. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. So these opening pages introduce us to a team that we're relatively familiar with, and that's the Hell's Bells. And we see the Hell's Bells trying to do an armored truck heist. And while they're in the middle of this heist, our 5 new X-Men make their appearance. And our new X-Men are Cherub, Marvel Guy, Cyclops Lass, Gimmick, and Daycrawler. All kind of plays on characters that are already existing. But it's kind of passing the mantle. Not necessarily getting rid of the old characters, but introducing these new characters for the next generation of kids to really enjoy these ones. Because, you know, we grew up on the Children of Atom. Back in the day when the first original issue came out, we got Cyclops and Wolverine and all of them. And now these guys, this is the next generation. This is the next iteration of X-Men. Now, how long they're going to be in here, how strong a presence they're going to have is all up for debate right now. But we can only assume if they're going to be introducing them, they're going to be playing some kind of vital part moving forward with the X-Men lines. And so we have our team going against the Hell's Bells. And we're seeing what everybody's able to do with their abilities. From Daycrawler being able to teleport, to Cyclops Lass literally having precision blasts and being able to cut weapons in half. Our team together are a force to be reckoned with. Now, at first, the Hell's Bells, they seem to be taking it easy on them, but when they realize that this is more than just a nuisance, they really do start to kick it up. And we see the Hell's Bells and our heroes going at one another, but at the end of the day, our 5 heroes are able to take these guys down, and though the city block looks like it's a disaster, they caught them. They tie them up, and then they do their superhero exit, which is everybody grabs on to Daycrawler and pops out of there. And so our team pops up in an alley not too far from the location they were just at, kind of just going over everything that just happened, excited, like, oh my god, did you see that? Do you see that kick? Do you see that hit? You know, what we really expect from teenagers with superpowers doing superhero things. But this is when we see the arrival of Pixie, Magma, and Maggot, members of the X-Men. And they come in and let them know, like, we have to hand it to you guys, like, you guys really took care of business out there. The only thing you really did wrong is you teleported too close to where you were at. Like, this isn't a good getaway, and you could easily be tracked down with teleporting this close to the site you were at. And so they all do their introductions and let them know that they're huge fans of theirs. Like, they love the X-Men and see the X-Men as their heroes. And this is when Magma lets them know that the 5 of them must have heard the call, so why haven't they come to visit Krakoa yet? And they all have their reasonings. You know, they have school, they have family, though, you know, school, they can have all of that psychically implanted into their brains, but they still have families. They got friends, they got things that tie them to this city still. And so Magma lets them know, like, no one's going to force you to do anything, but know that the door is always open when you are ready to come home. And then that's when we pick up at the summer house on the moon, and we have Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and Wolverine, and they're all discussing these 5 individuals, the individuals that are essentially a younger version of them, as a team anyway, because they don't all have the same abilities as this team. And really, they're discussing on what to do here, because they are children at the end of the day, and they're going around doing all of this without any kind of backup or support system whatsoever. So if they get into it, they're really going to be just stuck out there not knowing what to do. And they've also put themselves in the public eye. And with the US government trying anything they can do to regulate young heroes, it puts them even in more danger. And so Storm proposes that maybe they talk to them. Maybe they try to bring them into Krakoa and have them be part of the society and keep them out of harm's way. You know, there's even talk of just grabbing these kids and bringing them here. And Cyclops, you know, obviously, you know, most of them, all of them are opposed to actually kidnapping these kids. Well, maybe not Wolverine, but most of them are opposed to kidnapping these kids and bringing them here. They just want to convince them to come here. And the best way to do that is individuals like Cyclops. You know, these guys have costumes that are resembling a lot of the original Children of Adam, so it only makes sense that these guys would be the best envoy to convince them that Krakoa is really the home for them. And so Storm says that she will head up this mission. She will be the one to talk to these kids and see if they can work out anything with them. And this is when we pick up at their preparatory high school. And we have Cyclops, Lass, and Gimmick sitting in the bleachers, watching a basketball game, talking about mutants, talking about, you know, if they actually are gonna go and check out everything that's going on Krakoa. And while this is all transpiring, we're getting a lot of dialogue about how Cyclops Lass has a crush on Gabe. But Gabe is with Gimmick, and so they kind of, you know, she's keeping her distance, but it's also kind of that high school drama, like he likes her and they like her, but she also likes her. You know, it's just dealing with those emotions. You know, these are close-knit friends, so obviously sometimes the emotions are going to rise out of that. Sometimes people are going to catch feelings. You know, these are inevitable things, and it's just how they traverse this is really what's going to matter in the end. And then we pick up later that evening, and we're getting dialogue from Cyclops Lass, talking about how she doesn't want to leave her family because her father loves her. He's done his best, but there's parts of her that he'll never understand. And it's not that she's afraid that he won't be accepting. He's always been loving and very accepting, but there will always be that thing. He'd want to make her happy, and he'd want to be with them. The idea of leaving him behind hurts her. It really does, but at the end of the day, you know, she feels like this is something she has to do. And she believes that he would understand why she has to do this, why they all have to do this. And this is when we see our five standing at the gate in Coney Island, getting ready to go into Krakoa. And so while the rest of the world sleeps, they're ready to embrace their future, ready to become who they're supposed to be, ready to belong. And they go to step through the portal only for it not to work. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I think this was a lot of fun. You know, we got the introduction to a few of these characters. We see abilities that we've definitely seen before, which is awesome. You know, like I said, this is really something for the next generation. It's for the kids that are coming up reading comic books to really find something to connect to. You know, we all have Wolverine, we have Storm, we have all the ones that we grew up with. And those are the characters that we love. We don't want seeing too much change to them, and maybe eventually they'll fade out and be put up on the shelf, if you will. And we'll get to see individuals like these guys really get to make some kind of spotlight. But yeah, so all in all, the Children of Adam was really good. There was a lot of great, amazing artwork in here. A lot of dialogue. Really character building issue, if not anything more. We got to see them in action in the very beginning, which was awesome to jump into. And then we get to see them really operating, not necessarily as friends, but as a family. You know, these individuals have each other. And for some reason, the portal isn't working. Or at least that's what I interpreted from those last pages, is it looked like it didn't open for them. Something cracked, something was wrong. And they said that the next time they try, they're going to do it without getting caught. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet already, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and be sure that you hit that notification bell because we got tons more stuff coming later on this evening. We're going to be covering Daredevil and some X Factor. And with that being said, until the next issue.